are warriors, changing our world day by day. The way of the thrift are warriors, can't rely on the bank, there's no way.
Good morning, good morning. Bix Weir, roadrunner.com with your morning horn of Z's, your sip of chaga coffee. Tons of exciting news right now. I'll get to silver in a second. I'll get to cryptos and Theta in a second. Right now, I am announcing officially, with a little arm twisting on my part of Amy, we are going to do another group Raw 21 reboot starting on Monday morning. So go out and do shopping today. For those of you who don't know, Amy last year before, started this Raw 21 reboot where we go 21 days eating real food. Not cooked food, just real food from nature. So it's a 3-week program. 1 week you do raw foods. Second week you do raw smoothies. And third week you do raw juices. The reason I'm doing this now, and I forced her to do it, is I and everybody I know has put on massive amounts of weight on lockdown. It's just natural. You need the comfort. You need no more excuses. We're coming into a time where we got to be in the best shapes of our lives. If we have to go mobile, if riots are happening in your city, you don't want to be the tub of chubbiness sitting on the couch watching it happen. So anybody who wants to join in, we start tomorrow. Actually, we start tonight at midnight. So you can go to Amy's website. She has an amazing website. It's called Raw 21 Reboot. And it tells you exactly how to do it. There is no need to send me emails, no need to send Amy emails. She just laid everything out from what happens, how it's going to change your life, what to do, to raw food recipes. And I'm telling you, they're easy to make and they're really good. Yeah, there's a lot of salads, but I mean, you can have wraps, you can have all kinds of things. And it tells you how to do it, gives you websites, Amy's own recipes, all kinds of stuff. It's great stuff too. Himalayan salt lemonade, celery juice is amazing for you, by the way. Anyway, if anybody feels like they're a little overloaded, so to speak, being on lockdown for so long, join us. I'll be talking about it every day. Go to raw21reboot.com and check out everything. We got videos on there. It tells about everything. All right, so it's going to happen. You're going to hear me tomorrow morning, first day, raw only for 21 days. 21 days of raw only. You know you need it, don't you? You know you need it. Anyway, and on another note, I've been doing a lot of work into the Grand Canyon stuff, whole new angle, all new information coming from Jenny Moonstone. Amazing stuff. And I'm focusing on certain things. I'm going over other information I went over. If you guys haven't been to the Grand Canyon, by the way, you got to go to the Grand Canyon. It's not a hole in the ground. There's so much more there. But even if it was a hole in the ground, it is the most beautiful place in the world. Look at this place. Look at it. Look at those. All those old Egyptian. They're not Egyptian. They look like Egyptian stuff. And as a matter of fact, look at the names of all the mountains in the Grand Canyon. Confucius Temple, Temple of Ra, Tower of Set, Temple of Osiris, Shiva Temple, Isis Temple, Cheops Pyramid, Buddha Temple. Duh. Yes, they found Egyptian artifacts all over the Grand Canyon. It is not a hole in the ground. Much like Machu Picchu was not built by the guys carrying these huge rocks up mountains and through unbelievable terrain to build Machu Picchu on the top of a mountain. Just like the Egyptian pyramids were not built by Egyptians. There were many, many, many civilizations long before us. And it's time we all wake up to this fact. And one of the oldest that I've found, is in the Grand Canyon. But it also has to do with the Federal Reserve. If you ever wondered why, take a $1 bill, flip it over, on the backside of the $1 bill, there's a pyramid with an all-seeing eye. That's 100% about the Road to Ruta gold found in the Grand Canyon. Not only in the riverbanks and under mountain caps and things like that, just your regular gold deposits, but refined gold in the base of these pyramids. And I'm getting closer and closer, so get ready. And if anybody wants to come with me to the Grand Canyon, we're thinking about putting together a little trip to the Grand Canyon. I don't know anything other than I just thought of that this morning. How cool would that be? The logistics of it might be a nightmare with a whole bunch of people. And Grand Canyon is not for the faint-hearted, by the way. You can go to the Grand Canyon and think, oh God, it's hot here. It's 85, 90 degrees, standing over looking down into the Great Hole. And then you hike down there, it's 110 degrees, and you basically have to get helicoptered out. So yeah. And it's another reason why they say, oh, you're not allowed to go in a lot of places in the Grand Canyon. Let's just face it. The government has blocked you off from that. For good reason on their part, they think. They'll tell you it's because, the caves are dangerous. No, they're not dangerous. You might find certain artifacts that they don't want you to find. And it goes back to Kincaid's Cave. Yes, the head of archaeology for Marble Canyon, where they found Kincaid's Cave, is a woman named Chris Kincaid. I am not shitting you. She's head of archaeology for the Grand Canyon, right in the exact spot where her grandfather or great-grandfather had originally found the cave. The cave! Anyway, more research on this coming, working hard to discover some of the truths, but I'll guarantee you that what was found in the Grand Canyon in the early 1900s was the reason that Woodrow Wilson signed the Federal Reserve Act. So it's so much bigger on so many levels, monetarily, and it has to do with silver as well. Everything has to do with silver these days. Just a quick note of what I said yesterday. It does look like the big bullion banks, the commercials, are not going to be necessarily delivering a hell of a lot of silver come September. They don't need to if they get out of their short positions, which they did on Friday. It looks like they dumped somewhere around 5,000 contracts, which is 25 million ounces that they had to cover at a loss. So it is all coming down to this end game. So if it's whether there's a lot of deliveries in September or a little delivery in September, the big commercial shorts who have been manipulating the price on the way up, they short on the way up, they're not doing that this time. Yes, they slammed it down, but why did they slam it down recently? They didn't slam it down so that they wanted to get rid of their silver or add on new shorts. They didn't add on new shorts. What they did is they covered the shorts they already have. So they maybe throw, and we've seen the volumes. Look at the volumes off the charts. Why is there off the chart volume? Because they'll dump 1 billion ounces on the market, get everybody scared, have everybody dump their silver, run the stop loss orders, and then pick up silver and close out their short positions. That's what's happening right now. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple more slams before we hit September in price. But then what? Then we have, we got the September delivery month. Will probably be pretty big. I don't think it'll be a monster month because they're closing it out at a loss. They hate that. What it tells me is there's no silver left. They would love to deliver the silver if they could get their hands on silver at this price, but they can't. So they're closing out their contracts at a huge loss. And this, it looks like on Friday, they closed out 5,000 of those contracts, 25 million ounces worth. Great news for silver lovers. And it also might save the banks from catastrophe come September. If they're short and have to find silver, that's catastrophe. If they close out all their positions, the only question left is, who's going to sell into the next rally? It won't be the banks because they're just getting out of it. That's what they're doing right now. It won't be China. It won't be probably South America has pretty much closed up their minds. Who's going to be the sellers? If the banks are really divorcing themselves of this short position game, who will be the sellers that won't be sellers? And what happens to a price when there's high demand and there's no sellers? Ba-boomba, baby, ba-boomba. Really interesting conversation with two of my good friends. Greg Hunter, who I haven't spoken with in a long, long time. I used to be on his show like once a month or so. I don't know why not. I don't know. It was when I was doing my books and he was promoting the Conversations with God book. But great discussion with another great friend of mine, David Morgan. Good man. And they get, at the end, they kind of start crossing over into the spiritual side of silver, which is a very important side, as I'm learning more and more about with my discussions with Jenny. Absolutely, there is a spiritual war going on with silver as the destroyer of the bad guys. And listen to what David Morgan says about spirituality of silver.
Be worth it. And we'll talk about the Morgan report briefly. Okay. What about the kind of I don't know, almost spiritual aspect of silver you were talking about?
Well, I don't do too many public articles anymore. I do mostly audios and videos. But I was asked to write for this executive review and Silver in 2020 in this magazine. So at the very end of the article, he put in highlights. One of my quotes is, the most fundamental fact this writer, meaning me, consistently stressed is simply all fiat money fails. The track record for unsound money is perfect. Yeah. And then at the end of the article, I write, to come back to earlier symbolism, silver, meaning the color, means truth by some biblical scholars' accounts. The silver metal is very closely associated in the scriptures with the subject of redemption. Trumpets are closely related to the topic of redemption in the gospel. In Hinduism, silver embodies spiritual enlightenment, eloquence, and encouragement. And then the paragraph starts, it's time to rethink silver. The financial definition of redemption is paying off a mortgage, paying off a bond, or paying off a note. And how would one pay off these items that are largely created out of nothing by a Babylonian system of banking? From a natural law perspective, redemption can mean being saved from sin, error, or evil. At the risk of getting too close to the proverbial hot button for almost everyone, let me ask, with the current circumstances, isn't it time to redeem the monetary system and perhaps ourselves? Is it time to rethink silver and what the meaning is for you?
He's the man. I think he's done.
So that's my wrap up there. And as far as for you,
David's the man. Let me tell you, what a great guy. And he's been a true warrior in the silver battle for a hell of a long time. So bravo, David. Bravo, Greg Hunter is just killing it these days. And by the way, if you want to go deeper down the spiritual side of silver, check out the private road reading I got from Jenny Moonstone about the spiritual knights who are here, who have arrived to help in my encounters with that entity or group of entities. Or it's literally a silver wave that is going to come over humanity on planet Earth to assist us in removing the criminality of those bastards who've controlled our lives for so long. I hope everybody understands that. Again, that's on the private road. Go to roadroo.com and subscribe today. Real quick on the cryptos, looking good. Chainlink's still off the charts, doing well. Good for Chainlink. There will be cryptos that do well. There will be cryptos that don't do well. There will be cryptos that ICO'd back in 2017, and after the SEC came out with the DAO announcement, that would not be a good crypto to own. Anybody who went after, Reggie ICO'd long before the DAO, and they still went after Reggie. But if these cryptos ICO'd after the DAO letter that they wrote, the SEC clarifying what was a commodity, or what was a security and what was not a security, anything centralized, they pretty much said, like even Ethereum, they said, oh, that was a security, but now because so much has been decentralized, it's no longer a security. If there's a company attached to your cryptocurrency, take a deep look. If it ICO'd, it could be subject to the wrath of the SEC if they don't want that type of crypto out there. Obviously the crypto will stay. It's decentralized for the most part. Not all of them are. The SEC can take down anybody, and you don't want the SEC beating up your coin because all it does is, destroy the interest. There's so many other places to go. So that's one of the reasons I'm so excited right now about Theta. Theta is an amazing. Had they ICO'd, it'd be in deep shit. They would have marketed a security because it is a security. It's a company, although it's decentralized. The blockchain is 100% decentralized. It gets a little complicated, and the SEC is out to screw anybody that needs to be screwed according to their overlords, the people who control the SEC. That's why they went after Reggie Middleton. That's why they went after quite a few of the cryptos. So just be careful out there, my friends. The SEC has already said that Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash would not be classified as securities anymore. But there's a lot that will be. And if they ICO'd, will the SEC be really kind of pick and choose what law to apply to which crypto? Maybe. Or will they just apply a blanket law? Anybody who ICO'd after the DAO announcement clearly had a warning, and now they ICO'd. Again, Theta did not ICO, thank God. Truthfully, I wouldn't be invested in them as significantly as I am. And right now, I think Theta is the best investment, especially as it's coming into the COMEX. You guys hear that? We've had massive lightning and thunder today. The Bay Area doesn't get that much lightning and thunder. It's been just blistering hot and storms coming through and heat and like biblical times here. Anyway, Theta, yes. Theta is my number one pick now by far. By far. Those of you asking about other cryptos that I own or have owned or looking to buy, I love a lot of cryptos. Litecoin probably right up there with them. But will I buy Litecoin over Theta? No. Why not buy a bunch of Theta, and as Theta runs up much higher, faster, then go over and sell the Theta and buy Litecoin? It's kind of like the gold-silver thing. Would you buy gold? Even if you love gold and you understand gold, you must understand that silver is much more undervalued than gold. So if you want to buy gold, smartest move would be to buy gold, buy silver at the 75 to 1 ratio, and then sell your silver and buy gold when the ratio gets down to 10 to 1 or 5 to 1. Or as I think, 1 to 1 in time. Yes, 1 to 1. Why? Because everything except price right now points to the silver-gold ratio being close to 1 to 1. There's 6 billion ounces of each above ground. What's more important, gold or silver? Silver, absolutely, all day long. Why? Because it's used as an industrial commodity. It's the best conductor of electricity. Our world would change if they didn't have silver. It's just, the whole gold to silver ratio is completely fabricated. It's fake. And I hope I've showed it with all the COMEX criminality. All you have to do is look at something like this and say, oh my God, on Friday they traded over 200,000 contracts, meaning over 1 billion ounces of silver, and nobody blinked an eye. They only mine 850 to 900 million ounces a year, and yet in one day on the COMEX, they're trading billions of ounces, and nobody blinks an eye? Nobody at the SEC stops it? Come on. What is the true value to value ratio? I don't know, but it's damn close to 1 to 1 if you ask me. And I can give you an argument where it should be 1 to 10, where silver is 10 times more valuable price-wise than gold. And that's pretty easy to argue because most of the silver that's pulled out of the ground doesn't go into a vault like gold. Most of it, that 6 billion number for the amount of gold on planet Earth, that's just growing. Whereas silver is used. Most of it pulled out of the ground is used, is consumed in cell phones and flat screen TVs and in the new electronics that are coming, in the new flying RVs that are coming. So, yeah. As far as Theta, yeah, great move to stop the ICO at the last second. Now, would it pass the decentralized? Yes, the blockchain is extremely decentralized. Look at all these nodes all around the world. Looks like most are in US and Europe, but all throughout Asia, Africa. Each one of those dots is a node, either a validator node or a guardian node. And those of you with Theta, if you have over 10,000 Theta sitting on your wallet, go to Gpool, gpool.io, and you can use their guardian node summary. On Road to Root, I explain how to do it. So go to roadtoroot.com. And that's in the private section. But Gpool is on fire. I mean, when I started giving like the nod, it was at 18 million coins that were staked to the G pool node. Now it's 25 million. What's going to happen when all the Theta is staked? Now, Theta is the guardian token of the whole Theta platform of sharing broadband. So it does something. It does something extremely important. It's going to be the new internet, the new WWW. So yeah, check it out. Where does it say? Current staked. So right now, of the 870 million Theta tokens in circulation, about 500 million of them are already staked, and it's growing. It's growing hugely. And don't forget, there's some big names in Theta too. Look at the validator nodes. Binance, obviously the biggest exchange on planet Earth as far as cryptos. They have 93 million Theta. Theta Labs has a whole bunch, which is good. Google, 5 million Theta. Samsung, 4 million Theta. But remember, that's just what they've staked. We don't know how much they really have. And companies like that, they're not even going to want Theta all that much. The Theta token is what secures the network. Theta Fuel is what can buy them broadband CDN space, content delivery network space. It's the new CDN. So instead of paying billions of dollars to CDN companies to host their networks, they'll get some Theta Fuel and cut their price. I don't know what the price would be, but right now it's cut it into tiny chunks. You can use Theta instead of your CDN. That's where we're headed. Then blockchain's in there, Gummy. And then G-Pool is the big mother as far as the Guardian nodes. Now, the Guardian nodes basically keep these validator nodes honest. Validator nodes gives it the speed because there's only 12 of them. There's a small amount of them. And then the Guardian nodes are what secure the validator nodes are doing what they're supposed to do. Extremely secure network, extremely fast. And later this year, they're introducing smart contracts. Smart contracts. Just like Ethereum, and it's programmed. They program in the same language. I hear a lot of the Ethereum programmers are coming over to Theta, which is really exciting. And oh, by the way, Coinbase any day now will announce that Theta is going to be traded on Coinbase. So yeah, I don't know what the price is going to do then, but it gives people the ability to get Theta in the US and to lock it up into a Guardian node. So will it go over $1? Go over $10? When the Coinbase rollout fully happens? I don't even know how Coinbase is going to do that. How are they going to get their hands on all that Theta? Now, we all know Coinbase is kind of shifty, but they've probably already, secured a whole bunch of it. Or maybe they'll go to Binance and say, hey, give us half of your 93 million tokens and we'll pay you a premium for them. I don't know. It's really excited on the road to Ruta, though. Make sure you join. Private Road has all the juice. Go to roadtoruta.com and join 1-year subscription. I will send you 50 Theta and 50 Theta Fuel already loaded on a paper wallet. From roadtoruta.com, this is Bix Weir. I am off into the sunset. You guys have an excellent rest of your weekend. And, thunder again. And get excited about next week and the next coming weeks for silver, because you're going to be riding the silver wave, and we ain't stopping for nothing. The silver knights are going to bowl over all these criminal banksters. Here we go. Talk to you later.